Give me a couple of minutes. I just went live. I shared the link. Give me a couple of minutes. I'll get back. Give me a couple of minutes. I just went live. I shared the link. Give me a couple of minutes. I'll get back. Hey, we get started with the prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम् परमानन्दमाधवं कृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरं नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा 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 हरे हरे नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तम देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यास ततो जयं मुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Sorry for the delay. Uh, So we are continuing our Bhakti Vaibhav study, and we are very happy that we'll be completing Canto 1 today, hopefully by Krishna's mercy. And I also would like to wrap up the class quickly instead of extending it till 9 o'clock, Krishna willing again. So we are on the fag end of Canto 1, and the last chapter is titled The Appearance of Shukdev Goswami. I thought I would do a overall recap of the entire canto, but if I start now, I will delay the class. So let me do that towards the end so that I do it quickly. So I'll just get to context of today's verses and then we'll get started. So the context of today's verses is that Parikshit Maharaj, he knew about his imminent death, but he did not repent. Rather, he took this as a great opportunity. He went to the banks of the river Ganges and he fixed his mind in Krishna consciousness. And now that he had gone to the bank of the river Ganges and he decided to fast, many great sages got to know about this news. Sages like Atri, Chavana, Arishthanemi, Bhrigu, Vasishta, Parashara, Gautama, Pippalada, all these sages, they came from different directions and they wanted to witness this great event. They also knew that the Bhagavatam would be spoken, so they were very happy to be there. And at that time, Parikshit Maharaj, he had two questions to these sages. Anyone remembers the two questions Parikshit Maharaj said to the sages?
Hare Krishna Mataji, he had two questions. One regarding the what is the best way to leave this body in one contest. Is that right, Mataji?
Hmm.
And vaguely I remember the other one is the best way to prepare yourself for that that in that contest.
Okay, yes.
This is
Tulsigopi
what I
Mataji, please add. Yes, Mataji, that's
Just
there.
the two questions I was remembering the two questions is what is the duty of the highest duty of any human being, and especially what is the duty of a person who is about to die.
Correct, very right. Yes, perfect. Mataji, Padmini Mataji, what you said is also close. These are the exact words, that's all. Okay. So, but he's going to ask again two questions to specifically Shukdev Goswami, and that is very close to what you also mentioned. Okay. So we'll see those two questions also. So try to remember these. There are two questions he asks the sages. I'm trying to find the words. Wait. Yeah, here it is. Text number 24. O trustworthy Brahmanas, I now ask you about my immediate duty. Please, after proper deliberation, tell me of the unalloyed duty of everyone in all circumstances and specifically about those who are about to die. This is what he has asked. This is text number 24. So there is a slight distinction between what he asks the sages and what he asks specifically Shukdev Goswami. What he asked Shukdev Goswami, we will see in a while. But just remember this for exam's sake, okay? I don't even know if it is there in the exam. Anyway, I'm just saying it. Okay. Text number 32. So now what happened? So he asked these questions. Meanwhile, they weren't ready to answer and they were looking towards the path of Shukdev Goswami. Shukdev Goswami, he comes and there is a beautiful description of how he looks. He looks very young and beautiful, and then he's got all the lakshanas of a great personality. And then he comes and they give him the seat. Okay. And Parikshit Maharaj, he decides to inquire from Shukdev Goswami, and he inquires in a humble mood. And that is what we saw in the previous class. And now we are continuing from Parikshit Maharaj's inquiry to Shukdev Goswami, which is text number 32 onwards. Parikshiduvacha aho adya vayam brahman satsveya kshatrabandhava कृपया अतिथिरूपेण भवद्भिस्तीर्थकाकृत. Anyone wants to read the translation?
The fortunate king Parikshit said, O Brahmana, by your mercy only you have sanctified us, making us like unto places of pilgrimage, all by your presence here as my guest. By your mercy, we who are but unworthy royalty became eligible to serve the devotee. Hare Krishna.
So he first and foremost thing he tells the Brahmana Shukadev Goswami, you're very merciful. You have come here and you have sanctified us. So these devotees, these great personalities, they are places of pilgrimage personified. So he first thanks Shukdev Goswami for coming there by his mercy. And secondly, he says, we are unworthy royalty, meaning we are Kshatra Bandhava. We have heard of Brahma Bandhu, meaning a person who's born in a Brahminical family but doesn't have Brahman qualities. He's called as a Brahma Bandhu. Similarly, he calls himself Kshatra Bandhava. So he says, I am the friend of the Kshatriyas, he says. Okay. And this is interesting because he says, I'm unworthy. I'm not even fit to be a person in the ruler caste, okay, as a Kshatriya. But still, you have sanctified us and you have given me an opportunity to serve you. So this is the mood of Parikshit Maharaj. And in the purport, Prabhupada says, these devotees like Shukdev Goswami, generally they will not come and approach worldly people like kings. And a similar example we have seen in the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Prataparudra wanted to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kept avoiding that. He did not want to go and meet a worldly enjoyer. Okay, so generally these great sages, of course, later seeing his mood, seeing his sincerity, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives his audience. But generally, these sages, they don't go in search of materialistic people who are worldly enjoyers. One who's after wealth and women, such people, generally saintly people, keep away from, they'll never go near them. Now, this Parikshit Maharaj, he was a ruler, he was obviously very wealthy, and in one sense, being a king, he had a lot of opportunities for sense enjoyment. So sages don't like to take such association. Rather, they would take association of other sages. But Shukadev Goswami, he had come to this place where Maharaj Parikshit was there, and Maharaj Parikshit was feeling very grateful that Shukadev Goswami chose to come there. So, why did Shukadev Goswami come if Parikshit Maharaj was, after all, a king and a sense enjoyer? The reason is because he was a devotee at heart. For a devotee who's desiring to go back home, back to Godhead, definitely great sages will come in search of them. Somehow or the other, by the mercy of Krishna, a devotee will be sent, a great Paramahamsa, a great devotee will be sent to us so that we can get uplifted. Okay, so he was a great devotee, although he was a king, and therefore Shukadev Goswami came to see him in his last stage of life. And of course, Parikshit Maharaj, out of his humility, he just said, I am after all a Kshatra Bandhava. I'm just a friend of all these Kshatriyas. But he had great qualities because he was coming in a family of the Pandavas. And the Pandavas, they had a very close relationship with Krishna. Okay, they were very, very exalted Vaishnavas. So Parikshit Maharaj, he had a very close relationship with the great devotees of the Lord. And he was happy that Shukdev Goswami had come to see him. So he felt very sanctified. And he tells that wherever you come, devotees like you come, you turn that place into a place of pilgrimage. Now we go to a place of pilgrimage and we see the place, we see the land, we see the holy river, and we say it as a place of pilgrimage. But what really makes it a place of pilgrimage, you all know, it is the Vaishnavas. So the association that you get in that land, that is what makes it a pilgrimage place. Okay, text number 33. Yes, Rupal Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So I missed a little bit of class.
You didn't miss anything. I just read the
That's
verse.
true.
That's all.
Oh, so
I started late.
Oh, you started from. So Sukadev Goswami, how did he come? He just realized that Parikshit Maharaj needs him, and he went to the place where Parikshit Maharaj. Oh, because maybe he realized, or he knew that he needs to go to say the Bhagavatam.
Yes, Mataji.
And the two questions are how to leave and how to leave the body, right? Are those two questions how to?
Yeah, what is the duty of people in general? What is the immediate duty, and what is my specific duty at the time of death? That's what he asks the sages, but he's yet to ask Shukdev Goswami. We will see what he asks.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mataji. Yeah. Text number 33. Yesham samsmaranat pumsam satya shuddyanti vaigraha kim punardasha sparsha pada shauchananabdhi. Translation, anyone? Rupal Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Simply by remembering you, our houses become instantly sanctified. And what to speak of seeing you, touching you, washing your holy feet, and offering you a seat in our home. Hare Krishna.
This is so easy, to become purified. Think of a pure devotee and you get instantly purified. Actually, this is a nice practice. Think of think of a pure devotee of the Lord and we can find instant purification. So Parikshit Maharaj is telling, if I think about you itself, I'll get instantly purified. Then what to speak of seeing you, touching you, washing your lotus feet and offering you a seat in home. Parikshit Maharaj was so overwhelmed that he got such a great opportunity to serve a Mahabhagavat Vaishnava. So, as we already mentioned, the importance of holy places of pilgrimage is not just the land or the water, it is the presence of sages and saints. So, what happens is when sinful people they go and they take bath in holy rivers, they deposit their sins in that rivers. There is a story of Ganga Devi when she had to come on earth. She was very hesitant when she had to descend onto this earth. When King Bhagirath was performing austerities to bring down Ganga Devi, she said, I'm not ready to come because these worldly people, they will come with all their accumulated sins and they will deposit on my waters. I don't want to get polluted by that. But then the boon was given, but the great saintly peoples will also come and take bath in the same water and they will purify it. So then Ganga Devi said, okay, I'll come. Okay. So actually, when these sinful people, they come and they take bath in such holy rivers, they deposit their sins, of course, but the holy saints, they come and they also take bath in such waters to neutralize it. Okay. And that's why Vaishnavas, we like to visit these places so that we can get association of these devotees. And it is by the power of these devotees that the holy water remains holy. So that's the reason we go to holy places. So these saints, they have no interest with householders. The only aim of them associating with householders or worldly-minded people is to give them their association, meaning to uplift the householders. But if a householder dishonors such holy people, he is considered a great offender. Okay. So, and in fact, this is there in Shastras also. Prabhupada also mentions it here. It is almost like a rule. Prabhupada has also mentioned this in many places that if you do not bow down in front of your spiritual master or in front of a saint or a sage or a sannyasi, the minute you see him, the first time you see him especially, as soon as you see him, you're supposed to bow down, you're supposed to pay obeisances. If you do not, then you must undergo fasting for that entire day to neutralize the offense that is created. It is said that when you don't respect, you don't get up and immediately pay obeisances. Supposing you're sitting and a Vaishnava, a great sannyasi, or your spiritual master enters in, and if you're just sitting like that casually, it is said actually your pranavayu that raises up so quickly. That is also there in the Upanishads, that your pranavayu starts raising up, and it is when your pranavayu rises, actually you should also rise up. There is a story, right, of Duryodhan. He was sitting down in the assembly of the Kurus and he told everybody, don't get up when Krishna comes. He tells that. But he's the first one who gets up because the pranavayu rises immediately. So immediately that person gets up. So that's how it should be. But if we're still sitting down, then we're doing something against nature. So it's interesting how when you see a Vaishnava, it's very natural. As soon as you see a great devotee, immediately you get up. You just don't watch, you immediately get up and you pay obeisances. So if you do not pay obeisances to your spiritual master or a sannyasi, in fact, it is mentioned every time you see a spiritual master, you should pay obeisances. Meaning you see him you've seen how Prabhupada disciples, every time, they see him 3 times a day or 4 times a day. Every time they see him, they pay obeisances. And that is the rule of every devotee. If we do not, the Shastric way of atonement is that we undergo fasting for the entire day to neutralize the offense. So this is the power of holy people, and we should definitely respect that. And they are not coming to get something from us. Rather, they are coming to give us their association. Yes, Rupal Mataji. सानिध्याते महायोगिन् पातकानि महान्त्यपि सद्यो नश्यन्ति वै पुंसां विष्णुरिव सुरेतरा. Anyone for translation, please?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Just as the atheist cannot remain in the presence of personality of Godhead, so also the invulnerable sins of a man are immediately vanquished in your presence, O saint, O great mystic.
So nice, right? The atheists cannot remain in the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What does that mean? Because they are eventually vanquished by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we know of many, many demons like Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, Ravana, Kumbhakarna. They were all eventually annihilated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These demons, they are always busy in trying to vanquish God. That is their business. But very soon the Supreme Lord appears and is either in his transcendental name, form, attributes, pastimes, paraphernalia, or variegatedness in any form, and the demon is vanquished. So it is not necessary that the Supreme Lord should appear only in person. By any form, by any of his attributes, he can vanquish the demons. So similarly, wherever the holy names of the Lord are sung, Prabhupada says, wherever the holy names of the Lords are sung, ghosts cannot stay there. So there are so many pastimes of Srila Prabhupada acquiring different mansions that were haunted. And even in London, he mentions one place. And there are other places also where devotees have apparently reported that it was haunted. But by chanting the holy names, immediately it was rectified. So there are many stories like that. We all know the story of this Gokarna Dundukari Dunduli, that story, Bhagavad Mahatmya story, where by hearing the Bhagavatam, that ghostly state was actually vanquished, meaning he was delivered. So like that, wherever the holy names of the Lord is chanted, there is a ghost cannot remain there, Prabhupada says. Similarly, wherever devotees are present, wherever these great Paramahamsas, great Vaishnavas are present, immediately the sins that we have accumulated, that gets vanquished. They are so powerful. You don't have to go to Ganga to take bath in a river. Rather, you take the association of pure Vaishnavas. Our sins are vanquished. This is the verdict of all Vedic literatures, Prabhupada says. So therefore, we should associate only with saintly devotees and not with worldly demons and ghosts and exert their sinister influence. So we should always associate with the worldly mind, not with worldly minded people, rather with great devotees. So if we associate with great devotees, automatically our sins will be vanquished. Because in their presence, they are only going to speak about Krishna. Only the holy names of Krishna is going to be uttered. They're so absorbed in Krishna that automatically we will absorb that sort of a consciousness. So that is the principle behind this verse. Next, 35.
Hare Krishna Mataji. One question, Mataji.
Yeah.
So the prana vayu, it rises just by seeing a sannyasi. Is that what you mentioned in the previous sloka?
Yeah, when a great personality, any great personality, not necessarily only sannyasi.
A great
See,
personality.
automatically you pay respects when you see a great Vaishnava, right? Automatically, you don't have to endeavor. The minute you see him, immediately, if you're doing something, you are attracted. Immediately, you respond. You get up. That is what.
So pranavayu means something which helps for spiritual enlightenment. Is it like right way to
The
mention?
inhaling air, the air inside the body suddenly jumps up. It rises up. That's what they say. So when the air rises, automatically you also rise. It's natural.
Thank you, Mataji.
अपि मे भगवान् प्रीत कृष्ण पाण्डु सुत प्रियः पतिर्स्व स्वशेय प्रीत्यर्थं तद्गोत्रस्याथ बान्धव. Translation, anyone?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation. Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is very dear to the sons of King Pandu, has accepted me as one of those relatives just to please his great cousins and brothers. Hare Krishna.
So it says Krishna has actually accepted me as one of his relatives. Krishna has been very merciful to me. That is what he's trying to tell. Why is he telling this? He's telling this because Shukadev Goswami has come there. Because only by the mercy of Krishna do you get Guru, right? So he's thanking Krishna at this point in time. He's telling Shukadev Goswami came to see me. Oh my God, that is so wonderful. That is because of Krishna's mercy. So Krishna has considered me as his own relative because of my relationship with his cousins. Who are his cousins? His cousins are the Pandavas. So he says, Krishna has become favorable to me because I am born in the family of the Pandavas. And we know this very well. Krishna will give special protection to the family members of his devotees. Prabhupada here in the purport, he mentions about Hiranyakashipu. Though Hiranyakashipu was an atheist, he was given a special favor. Why was he given special favor to get liberated? He was given that special favor because he was associated with his dear devotee, Prahalad Maharaj. We also know the story of Amogha from Sri Chaitanya Leela. Amogha was the son-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And he was very sinful and he hated the Lord. He showed so much hatred. When the Lord had come to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house to honor Prasadam, at that time he was making a big scene. He didn't even allow the Lord to eat, and this mother of Shachira Mata, Satira Mata, she is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's wife. She was so upset. She thought, oh, what kind of son-in-law have I obtained? And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was literally chasing him out. He was such a mischief monger and he had so much envy and hatred. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivered even him. He went and touched the heart of Amogha and he said, this heart is meant to be a place where Krishna resides. Instead, you have harbored hate and envy. And then he cleanses the heart of Amogha by touching him. Actually, he contracts cholera, this Amogha, because of the sins he has committed. Mahaprabhu goes and touches his heart and purifies it. And he tells him, chant Krishna and get up. And he's cured from that situation. Not only is he cured from his material disease, he is also cured from his disease of hate and envy. So automatically he was favored by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because of his connection with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Mahaprabhu says that because of your connection with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So wherever somebody has a connection with a devotee, that entire family is actually favored. So Krishna is always looking out for his dear devotees. And if someone is dear to his devotee, automatically when that person gets the favor of Krishna. Prabhupada gives the, of course, he talks about how if somebody shows affection to my child, I feel very pleased, right? I feel very pleased. So similarly, if a family member is pleased of a devotee, if there is a devotee, sorry, what did I want to say? I wanted to say so similarly, if there is a devotee, the family member of that devotee also becomes very dear to them. So that's the understanding. Yes, Pralavananda Prabhu.
And Pramata, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that those Khandvasis who were helping doing Rath Yatra every year, he promised that not only I'll deliver all of you, even the dogs of your village I will deliver.
Haribol.
You can see. That's how he's so merciful. Haribol Mata.
Sorry, Prabhu, I have not been able to attend the CB classes past 3 days. And I missed your class. I know it was your session today. I felt very guilty. But unfortunately, I couldn't get off work. It was very difficult for me to attend the class. I apologize and I hope to listen to the recording. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, next, 36. अन्यथा ते अव्यक्तगतेर्दर्शनं नः कथं नृणां नितरां म्रियमाणानं संसिद्धस्य वणीयसा. Otherwise, without being inspired by Krishna, how is it that you have voluntarily appeared here, though you are moving incognito to the common man and are not visible to us who are in the verge of death? So he says, he says that it is only because of Krishna's inspiration that you have come here, O Shukadev Goswami. You have come here because Krishna desired that you should come here and you should give me the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam. So basically, unless we have the mercy of the spiritual master and the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is very, very difficult to progress in devotional service. The spiritual master is extremely merciful. Here we see that the spiritual master came running to deliver Parikshit Maharaj. So this is actually a very beautiful opportunity. So one should be very grateful. One should feel one should not become proud, but rather one should become very grateful to have such an opportunity. That the spiritual master comes in search of us. That is amazing, right? So Parikshit Maharaj, he had this great fortune. And he said, how was it that you have voluntarily appeared here? Generally, they don't do that, right? Imagine our Guru Maharaj doing it suddenly. But if it is happening, it is the causeless mercy of the Supreme Lord. It is the causeless mercy of Krishna. It is the causeless mercy of the spiritual master, because the spiritual master knows our condition, that we are in such a fallen state that we need help. So they come running to deliver us. And that is their nature. They are very merciful, very, very merciful. They know who are the most fallen, who needs maximum help, and they will come running for such a person. Of course, here Parikshit Maharaj is a great devotee. Of course, Parikshit Maharaj is a very, very advanced devotee. And through him, Srimad Bhagavatam had to be spoken. So that is also the reason why Shukdev Goswami comes. So Prabhupada says one can achieve the ultimate success of going home back to Godhead if he is favored by the Lord sending his true representative. As soon as the true representative of the Lord is met by a devotee, the devotee is assured a guarantee for going home back to Godhead after leaving the present body. Such a beautiful, beautiful sentence Prabhupada has written. So if we have the great opportunity of being in the association of our spiritual master, if we can get some association of them, our going home back to Godhead is definitely assured. These are the words of Prabhupada. However, Prabhupada says, it's not that, okay, this incident happened, my spiritual master came to see him, or I went to see my spiritual master, and I'm going home back to Godhead. It's not as simple as it sounds. Prabhupada makes it very clear. This, however, depends on the sincerity of the devotee himself. Just by one mere incident, one should not think one is qualified to go home back to Godhead. Rather, it depends on the sincerity of the devotee. Krishna may give his mercy. Okay, he's very sweet. He will give his mercy by sending the spiritual master, by making a strong connection between the spiritual master and the disciple. The spiritual master may also be very merciful to help the devotee. All this can happen, but it is very, very pertinent for us to show sincerity. And the Lord is seated in the heart of every living being. He knows our every single movement. All the things that we are doing, the Supreme Lord is aware of. So like this, if the Lord finds a devotee who's very eager to go home back to Godhead, at once he will send his bona fide representative. And this is important for all of us to know. There are many, many devotees, very sincere devotees, who are practicing Krishna consciousness, waiting for a spiritual master. Please don't give up hope at any point in time. Just keep doing your bhakti sincerely and praying to Krishna sincerely. It will come, a time will come when you will see your spiritual master. You will find your spiritual master. Don't give up hope, but try sincerely. That's what Prabhupada is telling. We should not give up that sincerity. And remember, Krishna is sitting in our heart. He knows every move of ours. He knows every desire of ours. If we are so intended to find a spiritual master, Krishna will find that spiritual master for us. He will bring that spiritual master in front of our eyes. So the sincere devotee is thus assured by the Lord of going home back to Godhead. The conclusion is that to get assistance and help of a bona fide spiritual master means to receive the direct help of the Lord himself. Okay. So we all can be assured Krishna is constantly watching. If we are desirous, I want a guru, he will see our true intention and he will send a guru. And is having a guru important? Yes, very much. Without the mercy of a guru, we cannot reach Krishna. Okay. So everybody should have a guru. Everybody should have a guru. And we should sincerely pray to see that guru. Atapratchami samsiddhim yoginam paramam gurum purushasyeha yat karyam mriyamanasya sarvatha. Anyone? Translation?
Can I read?
Yes.
Pravanand Prabhu, you go, please.
Okay, thank you. You are the spiritual master of great saints and devotees. I am therefore begging you to show the way of perfection for all persons, and especially for one who is about to die.
So what is it he's telling? He's asking Shukdev Goswami, this is the specific questions. And therefore begging you to show the way of perfection for all persons. Slightly different. It's the same. Pretty much he's asking the same question, but still the wording is a little different. He says, I'm therefore begging you to show the way of perfection for all persons and especially for a person who's about to die. Okay, so he asked this. How to live and how to live. That the Prahladananda Prabhu was mentioning. Okay. Unless one is perfectly anxious to inquire the way of perfection, there is no necessity of approaching a spiritual master. Why should we approach a spiritual master? We should approach a spiritual master to ask about how to perfect our lives. That should be the only main question that we are trying to ask our spiritual master. We should not go to a spiritual master to achieve material opulences, to get some material benefits, to solve our material problems, to get healthy, to get some kick in yoga. No, we are not going to a spiritual master for any of these reasons. The only reason we should go to a spiritual master is to know how to perfect one's life, how to go home back to Godhead. So a spiritual master is not a decoration for the householder. It is a fashion to have a guru. It's very common in India. Oh, I also have a guru. You also have a guru. No, it is not a decoration for a householder. Generally, a fashionable materialist engages a so-called spiritual master without any profit. The pseudo-spiritual master flatters the so-called disciple, and thereby both the master and his ward will go to hell without doubt. Prabhupada says. So basically, if we are having a guru and that guru is helping us how to uh, get richer, how to make better business, how to conquer our enemies in business, whatever. So many people have gurus for the sake of acquiring something. And the guru is also with them so that he can also get benefited. He is also paid a very good remuneration, right? If we are doing all this, then we will only go to hell. Both the master and the ward, both of them will go to hell. Without a doubt, Prabhupada says. He says there's no scope for doubt in this. So Maharaj Parikshit, he was the perfect disciple because he put the right kind of question. Said, what is the way of perfection for me? And particularly at the time of death. This is so important, especially for a person who's about to die. What is the most important thing? When we are living, right, we take it for granted that we are going to live forever and we can waste our time in whatever we want to do. It is so true. I'm saying for myself, I'm not telling others, I'm telling for myself. But death can come at any time, at the most unexpected time. We think we live forever. We think only when we become old we will die. We think only when we get disease we will die. There are so many assumptions about life, so we like to waste time. And this is again only for me. But here we see Parikshit Maharaj is telling, I want to know the way of perfection for everybody. Everybody. Whether you're going to die or not. Do bhakti. It is very important. The spiritual master can help us perfect our lives every second, every minute. And also for the one who's about to die, especially when a person is about to die, it is utmost urgency for that person to somehow or the other, in that very few minutes or hours or seconds that he has, to somehow perfect his life. Just like how we have Maharaj Khatwanga, or Parikshit Maharaj, who had 7 days. So, Maharaj Parikshit is the right kind of disciple because he put forward question vital to the interest of all men. He was a king. He loved his subjects. He felt responsibility towards his subjects. So he asked for the benefit of everybody. He was not very selfish, thinking, only tell me about a person who's going to die. I don't want to worry about the persons who are living. He didn't say that. Though he was about to die, he asked the way of perfection for everybody, this entire kingdom. And also specifically for himself, because he's about to die, he doesn't have much time. The question put forward by Parikshit Maharaj is the basic principle of the complete thesis of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam is going to give answers. The entire Srimad Bhagavatam is nothing but answers to these two questions. How to live and how to live, like how Prahladananda Prabhu said. So live for everybody, every minute, how we should live, how we should do bhakti. And especially for a person who's about to die, how in that few minutes also one can perfect life. And Prabhupada says, let us see how intelligently this great master replies. So we are going to see how Shukdev Goswami is going to reply soon. And also remember this part of the question. Don't leave your question there. If you have to, don't leave the answer there about people in general, what they must do, and specifically about a person who's about to die. You should also write this part of the question here. This is an important verse also, but it's not there for memorization. But I will read the verse and translation. Yat shrotavyam mato japyam yat kartavyam rabi prabhu smartavyam bhajaniyam va bruhi yadva viparyayam. Translation is, please let me know what a man should hear, chant, remember and worship, and also what he should not do. Please explain this to me. When you're writing answers to what he asked Shukdev Goswami, please write this part also. It is very important. Okay. See, he's very clear and specific in his questions. He says, okay, I want to know about a person who's about to die, and I want to know what others should also do to perfect their lives. At the same time, in the process, I should know very clearly what I should hear, chant, remember, and worship. And that is not enough. I should also know what I should not do. This is important. We should know what we should not do, because there is this assembly that he was in. There are so many different sages adhering to various paths, and they all think that method is the way to perfection. So Parikshit Maharaj is clearly telling, what should I hear, what should I chant, what should I remember, what should I worship, and also what I should not do. Please explain this to me. And interestingly, second canto will begin with what you should not do. Okay. So next 39. Prahladananda.
Danupramata. In this slok, Sukdev Goswami, he's asking 4 of the 9 Navda Bhakti. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, and Archanam. These 4 things he's asking like that. So
Yes.
that's what we can find out from there.
Very well. This is also very similar to how Yudhishthir Maharaj asks Bhishma Pitama. He asked, who knows Vishnu Sahasranama? Kim Japyate Muktir Janma Samsara Bandhanat. Whose name we should chant? Anyone knows? Vishnu Sahasranam? I am not getting the verse also in my mouth now.
को धर्मः सर्वधर्माणां
Dharmanam. Go ahead, Mataji. Bhavata Paramogatah.
किं जपन् मुच्यते जन्तुर् जन्म
Muchyate
संसार बन्धनात्.
Bandhanat. Very nice. Can you say that again, Mataji?
को धर्मः सर्वधर्माणां भवतः परमो मतः किं जपन् मुच्यते जन्तुर् जन्म संसार बन्धनात्.
Is it the same question about dharma? What is the topmost of all dharma? Whose name we should chant?
किं
To
जपन्
attain
मुच्यते जन्तुर् जन्म संसार बन्धनात्.
Janma Samsara Bandhanat.
Mm.
Yes. So, very pertinent question. This is what we should be asking our spiritual master. Okay. 39. Nunam Bhagavato Brahman Griheshu Grahamedinam Na Lakshyate hi Avasthanam Api Godohanam Kvachit. He says, O powerful Brahmana, it is said that you hardly stay in the houses of men long enough to milk a cow. How long does it take to milk a cow? That is the question. Anyone knows the answer? Anyone has milked a cow?
Probably 3 to 5 minutes.
3 to 5 minutes. Very nice, Mataji. That is right. So it doesn't take too long to milk a cow. And how long does a great saintly person come in front of the house of a householder just for those few minutes? So they don't stay for too long. That means they don't want anything from you. All right. Prabhupada says these saints and sages who are in the renounced order of life, they go to the houses of the householders at the time they are milking the cows early in the morning. Early in the morning, they milk cows. And at that time, these great saintly people, just for 3 to 5 minutes, that's all maximum, they will just go there. And if the householder hands out a glass of milk, they will drink that milk. And they will sustain their bodies by just that little milk. They don't want anything else from you. But we have so much to take from them. And remember, their association is not going to be there for too long. Their association is not going to be there for too long. It is very short because they come and they leave. They have no other business. But we, in those few minutes, we can gather so much. Prabhupada says it is the duty of the householders to maintain saints and sages like children. We should maintain them. They just take that little milk and they are happy. And of course, Prabhupada writes about the benefits of milk. Milk is like superfood, right? It gives you all that you need, all the vitamins, all the minerals, everything you need is gotten by milk and buttermilk. Raghunath Das Goswami used to survive on buttermilk. There are many sages who still do that. Many saints, even in Vrindavan, who just drink milk or buttermilk and they survive. It is superfood. So you can live with it. So Shukdev Goswami would just drink a little milk and he was very happy. But these saints are very rarely seen in the houses of householders. So Parikshit Maharaj was thinking, you have come of your own accord. I'm so grateful. You might not give your association for too long, but as much as possible, I would like to take your association. So he was very wise. Parikshit Maharaj was very wise and he requested Shukdev Goswami, please instruct me as soon as possible. I want to know what is my immediate duty. I am about to die. And Prabhupada says a householder should not foolishly ask a saint to deliver what is available in the market. We go to great sages and saints and great so-called spiritual people and we ask them, give me some ashes, show me some magic, create some ashes. Wow, I got ashes. Whatever is, or I got one piece of gold, I got one ring. It is all there in the marketplace. Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, he is quite a lion guru. He was telling, at this minute, I can light a matchstick and create heaps of ashes. Do you want that? And he says, I can purchase a gold ring from a jeweler. Why do you need that from me? I have something much higher to give. Much higher to give. A spiritual master can give something that is so precious. we know the story of how Sanatan Goswami, and there was this person who wanted to get some, he wanted to get a gift. He was a devotee of Lord Shiva or something. He wanted to get gold, and he sees that Sanatan Goswami has disposed that gold in a pile of trash. And he was very curious why Sanatan Goswami is doing something else. He's sitting and chanting instead of enjoying with that gold, getting some money and enjoying using that gold. So he goes and asks Sanatan Goswami, what is the secret? It appears that you have a greater wealth. And then he tells, yes, I have this great wealth of the Mahamantra. I have the great wealth of chanting the holy names. And he gives that to this person. So householders, we should be intelligent enough to get some transcendental information from visiting sages. Householders should not foolishly ask the saint to deliver what is available in the market. That should be the reciprocal relationship between saints and householders. Prabhupada also, when people ask for blessings, I think this is somebody had asked for blessings. I'm not getting the context, but Prabhupada Leelamrita experts can give this correct episode. Somebody was asking for blessings, and Prabhupada said, I bless you that you will become like all of them. He was showing his disciples, and he was telling, this is the best blessing I can give you, that you become like all of my disciples. So that's a real guru. A guru is there to deliver us, not to give us material profit or give us what is already available in this world. Yes, Praladanda. Prahlad, you had something, Prabhu?
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. I'm reading it from Sridhar Maharaj commentary about Godohan Kala. He has written, Godohan Kala Muhurtasya Astam Bhagam Paramiti. Right? Pariganito Asi means Muhurt is 48
48 minutes.
Yes, and it's Astam Bhag. So if you divide it by 8, it is 6 minutes. So that is in the commentary. So I just wanted to highlight that.
Haribol. Very nice. Very, very nice. Yes, that's exactly 6 minutes. Yes, 6 minutes. Nice, Prabhu. Thank you. Sutta Uvacha. Evam abhashita prishta sarajña shalakshणया gira pratyabhashata dharmajño bhagavan bhadarayanaha. Arya. Who's Arya?
Sri Sutta Goswami said, the king thus spoke and questioned the sage, using sweet language. Then the great and powerful personality of the son of Vyasadeva, who knew the principles of religion, began his reply.
Hari Prabhu. Thank you for joining us today. Who's your parent?
Rupal Mataji.
Huh?
Rupal Mataji.
Oh, Rupal Mataji's daughter. Very nice. Thank you for coming and reading so beautifully. So the Goswami said, the king thus spoke and questioned the sage. Which sage are we talking about here? His name is Shukadev Goswami. Okay. So the king is Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj questioned Shukadev Goswami, and Shukadev Goswami, who's a very powerful personality, he's the son of Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is a very great person, very, very great person. So his son is Shukadev Goswami. He knew all the principles of religion and he began to speak. So what he began to speak, that we will see in Canto 2 after how many weeks break? Any guesses? After 2-week break.
2 weeks.
Yes. So next week you can prepare for the exam, closed book exam. It will be administered next week. You can take a week for preparation, a week for exam, and we will meet on request. I wanted to start on 12th, but I was told I cannot start on 12th because you need 1 week for preparation and 1 week for exam. So we will start on 3rd of March, Canto 2. Now I want to address a few things. First and foremost thing is, yes, you're close to...
Mataji, March 3rd is Gaur Purnima.
Oh.
So then
See, my
March 5th.
original plan was better. My original plan was good. But there are some devotees on the call who brainwashed me and told me to start on 3rd. So that's why my original plan was good. If I start, but then it's not good to start and stop, right? Fine, we'll start on 5th if that's what everyone wants. Okay, we'll start on 5th. And I wanted to address a few things. Yes, your closed book exams were already graded by the team. I saw that. But they haven't finished grading your shlokas. It's pending. And we're sorry about it, but they're taking some more time. But they will finish it off. So don't get alarmed. They will finish it. Maybe, in a few weeks. And your open book, since you all have just completed the canto now, you can start thinking about writing your open book. Some of you have started, while those who haven't started, please start writing your open book exam, especially the second half, that is chapters 11 to 19. If you have not yet started writing that section of the open book, please start writing. The open book exam for Canto 1 is common. It is there in your handbook. The shlokas are also there in your handbook. Only closed book exam, usually we revise the questions. And we have given the question bank. I've also forwarded it recently for you on the WhatsApp group. Prepare the answers for the closed book exam of second module of the first canto. Please do that nicely. And I wanted to call out a few things before you attempt the exam. If it is a 2-mark question, I want 2 clear points. Okay. It might appear that I'll just, it's a one, it might appear that it's a very short answer. Why is this graded for 2 marks? If you see 2 marks, that means 2 clear points. It can be in one sentence, whatever, but it should call out 2 clear points. If it is a 6-mark question, for example, one of the questions that is 6 mark is, where are the places Kali took residence? But if you think of the answer, there are only 5 places. The 4 places that we talk about all the time, plus gold, right? Then why is it a 6-mark question? The reason it is a 6-mark question is because in the translation about gold, it says why gold? Why gold? Because gold represents envy and 4 other bad qualities. So you have to write it completely to earn that 6 marks. If it is a 2-mark question and you have written only 1 point in your sentence, you will get only 1. Okay. So if it is a 3-mark question, look out for 3 exclusive points or 6 exclusive points. Sometimes if they will ask you, it will be like, give 6 questions that Yudhishthira asked Arjun, for example, why he is upset. And it will be graded only for 3 marks. That means each point is 0.5 marks. Okay. So use use common sense, see what the question is, and write accordingly so that you get all the marks. And generally, everyone does very well in the exams. There's nothing to worry about. I saw the scores even for closed book exam. It was fantastic. So it's not at all a problem. But these are just some guidelines for all of you to follow. So if it is an open book, I think we have 3 out of 5 open books. We should write 3 if I'm not wrong. So 20 marks each, total 60 marks. That is what is given. For the closed book exam, some are 1 mark, some are 2 marks, some are 3 marks, and very rarely maybe 6 marks. Okay, very, very rarely. But the answer should be succinct. They should be short. Don't write huge essays. Keep it simple and write nicely, but look out for how many points it is and then decide on how to give the answer. All the answers should be from Prabhupada's purport. It should be from the translation and purports only. We don't want stories outside unless you're told to write something outside. Okay, so preferably stick to Prabhupada's translation, Prabhupada's purport. That is plenty, and generally you won't be asked for anything extra. And the questions are super simple. There's nothing for us to memorize, nothing. It's very easy. It's like a cakewalk. Though we will ask you questions at least for 50 marks. We will give you 3 hours, just like last time. Okay. Padmini Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Actually, that we are not able to download that, Mataji. I don't know. Is it a different? We're not even able to open. I don't know if I tried with my computer as well as the phone. Is there
Question
any?
bank?
Yeah, yes, but the book, the module 2 book, your handbook, Mataji.
Handbook. Handbook is only one handbook, no?
No,
Same
module
thing.
2 you have recently given us, no, Mataji. That one.
You mean closed book tests, closed book questions?
Yes, Mataji.
Can someone forward it then? Maybe the file that I have sent is not working. Can someone
Yes,
resend
Mataji.
it on the group?
I downloaded, Mataji. Let me quickly check.
Yeah, if someone can download and resend then. Okay,
Yes, Mataji.
yeah.
Okay,
And
thank you,
then
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Divyangi Mataji.
Hi, Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, for the open book question, is it like 1,100 words for 3 essays combined? Is it for each essay, Mataji?
Mataji, ideally we would like 600 words, not 1,000. Is it written 1,000 in the handbook?
I thought so, Mataji. I thought it said like somewhere around 1,000 to 1,100 words.
So try to, I mean, this is again between Kirtida Mataji, myself, and all of us together here. Keep it between 600 to 700. You really don't have to write 1,100, okay? Because it's also
That's for
difficult.
each Mataji, 600?
Yes, each, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
About
Mataji,
1.5 pages.
1.5 pages. Okay, Mataji. Mataji, the other one was about the classes, Mataji, for the second canto. Is it starting next week, Mataji, or are we having break?
Yeah, I just said, no, we have 2 weeks break. We'll start on 5th.
Okay.
Mataji, actually, I also got confused. 5th is in 1 week.
So sorry, Mataji. I'm
And
sorry.
Mataji, what are the timelines for the exam closed book when it opens? And I mean, we have.
Sorry, just give me 1 second before
Sure,
I go to the next question. We will start on 17th. Okay, we are starting on 17th, and this is confirmed. We'll start on 17th of yeah, 17th of March. Please mark this. Even if I forget, please mark this. Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
Now, yeah,
Next
and what
question.
was the other question?
Mataji, when the closed book exam will open? What date?
We can open it. What is the date today? We are in February.
26th, Mataji. February 26th.
I'll ask Mukta Mataji. I don't
If
know
you
if she's
give 1 week of preparation time, then anytime after March 5th, I think.
Yeah, 6th we can open it. I'll put a message. I don't know if she'll be back. Otherwise, I can ask Kirtida Mataji to open it if she knows how to. So 5th. Okay, 5th. That
And
also
open
will.
book, do we have any cutoff date till when we need to do?
Mataji, ideally for all the courses, we tell them that by 5th, we like to have everything in place so that these assessors also take time. That is one thing. But you guys don't need certification right now, right? Yeah. Assessors are
It
very
is not
slow.
for the second one. It's the first one.
Okay. Yeah. So, but you might not need your Bhakti Vaibhav certification right now. So it's okay. Just try to complete everything together so that it's easy for them also to keep track. The assessor should not get confused when they are doing one shlok. When you finish one module, it's better to finish everything together. That's the idea. Because if we have too much pending overlap in the next module, they'll get confused, and they also need time because so many shlokas they have to do. No, it's not easy for them also.
Right, Mataji. Mataji, can I ask one more question, please? So initially in the handbook, I think I saw when we were checking like how many exams and everything would be there, the plan. I saw presentation as well for canto, each canto, right? That is also there?
Yes, presentation is also there. So how is it, Mataji? Is it said that after the first 3 cantos you have a presentation, or when do you have the presentation?
No, it just says that for each canto, I think that we need to give a presentation. But I don't know when. The timeline is not mentioned there.
If you all can
Mataji,
start.
it's not each canto, Mataji. It is not mentioned as each canto, actually. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Okay,
Yeah,
no
I thought
problem.
it's
I read it months back, so I don't recall exactly.
Yeah, if someone can clarify. I'm opening the handbook. Anyone can see what I'm sharing. Let me stop sharing here.
Mataji, I think it's at the for one presentation we'll have for any topic we can choose from top canto 1 to 5. That's how it was.
That's
And
what I thought. Yeah.
for each canto, what topic you can choose, they have given. I think that's what we shall select. You can.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, please somebody correct me. Sorry.
Yeah, yes, Mataji, that's right. There's only one presentation at any point of time, and then you can choose from what is given to us. Not for every canto, it is not mentioned like that. I don't remember seeing like that.
Oh, I thought
And
at
we may not
least.
have time, no, Mataji. All of us want to present that way, and then there will not be time for us even to complete it.
See,
That
actually,
is why
I
I'm
was
saying it
right.
will be once.
Mataji, I was right. So presentation topics, cantos 1 to 3. That is what even we also, when we did 1 to 3 only. At the end of third canto, you may pick one topic and present. Okay. Not at the end of fifth canto. At the end of third canto, you can pick one topic and you can present. The list is given.
Okay, Mataji, thank you.
Right from canto 1 itself, the list is given. The 46 topics are given. You can present any one topic from 1 to 3. Then 4 to 5, I don't remember what they decided about it. I will find out what to do when we've crossed the bridge. Okay. When we go there, we'll think about it. Okay.
Mataji, is it like we can record the presentations and send it to you? Because then
Yes,
only
yes.
we'll have time. Yes, Mataji? Because all of us presenting will not be any time. We can, the similar way we can present it and send it to you.
Yeah. Make the presentation, send a YouTube, just like how you send shlokas, and we can assist. That's easier.
Yes. Yes. Hare Krishna.
I thought you would be asking questions, Mataji, and we'll be presenting. Your turn.
Then if we are, then every day we should have presentation. Every day 2 presentations.
So it's better
Like
for us
PTC course.
just recording it and doing.
Yeah,
Thank you so
when
much,
we do
Mataji.
teachers training course, it's so strenuous. Every day 2 presentations, and we have class every day. So like that. Yeah. Okay. And what did I want to tell? I wanted to quickly give you a synopsis of the entire canto. How many chapters are there in Canto 1? Anyone would like to answer?
19.
Very nice. Remember that magic word, magic number 19. We should know, okay? So how does Canto 1 begin? It begins with, of course, you have the 3 beautiful initial verses that also talk about Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. It is, these 3 verses are important. The purport is also very important for these 3 verses. After that, we see that the sages of Naimisharanya had assembled. The sages had assembled in Naimisharanya, and they were performing a great sacrifice. The reason they were performing the sacrifice is to mitigate the effects of the age of Kali. And that is when they saw Sutta Goswami, who was an esteemed personality, and they gave him the seat of honor because he had many qualities, and they asked him to become the speaker. And they put forward 6 questions. Right? I hope you remember the 6 questions. The 6th question is, what is the ultimate good for people in general? What is the essence of all scriptures? Why did Krishna take birth in the womb of Devaki? Who are the Purusha avatars? Who are the Leela avatars? And finally, where did Dharma take shelter of after Krishna disappeared? So after they asked these 6 questions, so the Goswami began to answer, he appreciated the audience and he began to answer the 6 questions. So you see that in chapter 2 itself, the answer to the first and second question is answered. Savaipum so paro dharma yatho bhaktir adhokshaje. He talks about bhakti. Bhakti being the ultimate good for people in general, and also it is the essence of all Vedic literature. Bhakti. And then to answer the third question, why did Krishna take birth in the womb of Devaki? That is when he goes on to chapter 3. Chapter 3 is titled Krishna is the source of all incarnations. No. I think he answers the third question right away at the end of chapter 2. And then he says to benefit the people in general, especially those who are inclined to devotional service, through his pastimes, and favor them. That's the reason he took birth from the womb of Devaki. Then to answer the question about the Leela avatars and the Purusha avatars, he gives a little bit about the Purusha avatars in chapter 2. And then in chapter 3, he starts talking about the Purushavataras in further detail about the three Vishnus, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Kshirodakshay Vishnu, and Karanodakshay Vishnu. Then he starts describing the Leela Avataras, which is chapter 3, Krishna is the source of all incarnations. He describes about 24 Leela Avataras culminating in Krishna, and we have this 1:3:28 verse, which we did not ask in the exam, and we were questioned why we did not ask in the exam. The mistake is mine. But it's a beautiful purport by Prabhupada. Please read that purport again and again and relish it. It is 1:3:28. Ede Chamsakala Pumshak Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. We saw that. So he answered the questions about the ultimate good for people in general. What is the essence of all Vedic literature? Why did Krishna take birth from the womb of Devaki? Who are the Purushavataras? Who are the Leela Avataras? 5 answers he's already given. And then he also answered the 6th question, which is where did Dharma take shelter of at the disappearance of Sri Krishna? And that is there at the end of the 3rd chapter itself, where he says that it has taken shelter in Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so that means Bhagavatam is actually over, but it didn't get over because the sages had more questions. What are the 3 extra questions the sages asked? They said, tell me about the history of Bhagavatam. You just said Dharma has taken shelter of Bhagavatam. So what is the history of Bhagavatam? They ask. Then I heard Bhagavatam was spoken by Shukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. So tell me about Parikshit Maharaj, how he lived, what is his birth, what are his qualities, how did he rule, tell us everything. And also tell us about Shukadeva Goswami coming and meeting Parikshit Maharaj. So the sages asked 3 more questions. To answer these 3 questions, we see from chapter 4, 5, 6. These 3 chapters talk about the history of Bhagavatam through the meeting of Narada and Vyasa. So chapter 4 is titled The Appearance of Sri Narada. Chapter 5 is Narada's instructions on Bhagavatam for Vyasa. And chapter 6 is conversation between Narada and Vyasa. So why are they talking about this conversation of Narada and Vyasa? Because Narada inspires Vyasadeva to write the Srimad Bhagavatam. Vyasadeva was despondent that he didn't do a good job. Narada Muni came and chastised him, saying, whatever you have done is detestable, it is jugupsitam, so you better write the Bhagavatam. You have not glorified the Lord enough. So in these 3 chapters, we also hear the previous birth of Narada Muni and his experiences. He tells Vyasadeva through his own experiences why bhakti is so important. Okay, and then Vyasadeva, he sits in meditation and he sees the Lord, internal energy, external energy, the beautiful form of the Lord, everything he sees, and he rewrites, he revises the Bhagavatam. That is the version we have today. Okay, so we have seen the history of Bhagavatam. Now, what was the next question? It was about Parikshit Maharaj's birth, life, activities, and how he retired. So to answer that, first, what Suda Goswami does is, he talks about how Parikshit was in the womb of his mother. Right from the womb, he begins the history. So to talk about the womb, he had to talk about how Ashwatthama shot an arrow and he tried to destroy the womb. That's why we see chapter 7, which is son of Drona punished. Who's the son of Drona? It is Ashwatthama. So we see how Ashwatthama first killed the sleeping sons and then he shot the Brahmastra and Uttara cried out to Krishna and surrender. And Krishna, Angushta Matram Purusham, he went in that tiny form and going in circles, he protected the womb. So Parikshit Maharaj was protected and Krishna wanted to leave after that episode. But then who stopped him? It was Kunti Maharani. Kunti Maharani was feeling very, very grateful and she offers prayers to Parikshit Maharaj. So we see chapter 8 is prayers of Queen Kunti and Parikshit saved. Okay, then now he's ready to leave. He has received the prayers of Kunti Maharani. Kunti Maharani says, give me more so that I can see you more. And Krishna smiles and he's ready to leave. But then at that time, who stops him again? It is Yudhishthir Maharaj. He comes running and he says, I'm very guilty. I'm very guilty. Because of me, everybody died. And Krishna tries to convince him in various ways, but Yudhishthira doesn't listen. So that is when Krishna decides it's better you hear from Bhishma Dev. So that's when we enter chapter 9, the passing away of Bhishma Dev in the presence of Lord Sri Krishna. So Bhishma comes and then he looks at Yudhishthira and he says, Aho Kashtam, Aho Anyayam, you face so many troubles, but all this is because of inevitable time. And then finally, Yudhishthira Maharaj is also pacified. He learns a lot from Bhishma Dev. He asks about Stri Dharma, Raja Dharma, this Dharma, that Dharma, Varnashrama Dharma. He gets fully enlightened. He even asks the Vishnu Sahasranama that we spoke about a few minutes ago. And Bhishma Dev singing beautiful prayers, the Bhishma Stuti, he gives up his body in the presence of Krishna and he reaches Partha Sarthi Loka. Okay, now Bhishma has passed on. Now, what happened? It was time for Krishna to leave. I think he was stopped too many times, so Krishna leaves to Dwaraka. That is chapter 10. Departure of Lord Sri Krishna for Dwaraka. Once he leaves for Dwaraka, where should he go? He should enter Dwaraka. So he left Hastinapur, he went to Dwaraka. Chapter 11, he entered Dwaraka. When he entered Dwaraka, there is this beautiful description of Krishna coming, and then he's looking so beautiful and people are welcoming him and so on. So he goes and then he is settling down. Meanwhile, what is happening? What was the question asked? It was about Parikshit Maharaj. We spoke about the womb, we spoke about protection, we went to Bhishma, we went everywhere and we forgot Parikshit Maharaj. So chapter 12 is about the birth of Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj's birth is described in great detail, and then his naming ceremony, how the astrologers made predictions, etc., is described, but it was time to throne Parikshit. For him to take up the throne, first the older guys should retire, the older folks should retire. So first Dhritarashtra quits home. First he's the senior most. So he quits home, and how Vidura comes and inspires him to quit home is mentioned. And then finally, Vidura sells so many things. You're like a dog in the house of Bhima and whatnot. And finally, Dhritarashtra leaves. Again, our Yudhishthira Maharaj gets into a guilt trip. And then Narada Muni comes and he convinces him. And then meanwhile, what happens? Our Arjun, he goes to Dwaraka. He wants to spend some time in Dwaraka. He goes to Dwaraka. But here Yudhishthira Maharaj is waiting for Arjun's return. It's 3-4 months. Arjun hasn't returned. And Yudhishthira Maharaj starts seeing very, very bad omens. That is chapter 14, the disappearance of Lord Krishna. So he sees bad omens and he's suspecting the disappearance of Krishna because he's already this was indicated to him through Vidura and Narada in different ways. And he has kind of guessed it, but he's not sure. And after 3-4 months, Arjun returns. Arjun looks very pale, very sad. Yudhishthira questions him in various ways, and all those questions you should know, if not everything, at least 3-4 you should know. And then finally, Arjun with choked up voice, he remembers his dear friend, and he says, "Oh, my dear friend is not with me anymore." So hearing this news, the Pandavas retire timely. This is chapter 15, where the Pandavas also desire to retire because Krishna is no more in this world. And then what happens? If they retire, who has to be crowned? Our Parikshit has to be crowned. So now Parikshit is crowned, and as the king, he is very successful. And in his kingdom, what happens? He sees Kali personified. That is chapter 16. How Parikshit Maharaj received the age of Kali. That is chapter 16. And in chapter 17, he gives punishment and reward to Kali. What is the punishment? He is chastising him because he's torturing the bull and the cow. And then the conversation between the bull and the cow, we heard all that. And he gives him reward because Kali surrenders to Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit Maharaj says, okay, I will give you some places to stay. That is one of your short answers. So he gives him 5 places to stay, but the question is for 6 marks. So write a little more from the translation. Say why gold? Why specifically gold is mentioned? So like that you expand. Okay, anyway, Parikshit Maharaj has given reward for Kali. And then what happened in his life? It so happened that one day he went hunting and he saw this great sage, Shanika Rishi. Shanika Rishi was in trance and he doesn't receive Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit puts a snake. And as a result, chapter 18, Maharaj Parikshit cursed by a Brahmana boy. Who's this Brahmana boy? It is Shringi, the son of Parikshit. So Parikshit receives a curse. Shanik Rishi is very upset with his son. But then we also saw how Kali had entered. And finally, chapter 19, Parikshit Maharaj, he says, okay, this is good for me. I will retire at the bank of the river Ganges. I will fix my mind on Krishna. And at that time, all the sages, they got the news. They came there. He asked the sages questions. The sages were thinking, let a better devotee come and talk. And they were looking at that time, Shukadeva Goswami, appearance of Shukadeva Goswami. Remember, this was the third question in the second set. Second set, 3 questions were history of Bhagavatam, life of Parikshit, and finally, how did Shukadeva and Parikshit meet? How did Shukadeva come to this place? That was the third question. So, appearance of Shukadeva Goswami, how Shukadeva Goswami came, how he looked, and then finally, how Parikshit asks him 2 questions. Write the whole thing. Don't leave with one verse. Go to the next verse and write the whole thing about the questions asked by Parikshit to Shukadeva Goswami. And then Shukadeva Goswami is attempting to talk. That we will see how he talks in Canto 2. So remember this flow. It will be very helpful for our study of Bhagavatam. Okay. Canto 2 also has a beautiful flow. We will start Canto 2 on 17th. Okay. Someone has asked some question. Can you share the verse number of Bhishma Dev before question? Aho kashtam aho anyayam. Is that what I said? Tulsigopi Mataji? Okay, so then we can end the call here. We'll meet on 17th.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटि वैष्णववृन्द की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Krishna
Madam.
Mataji, can you share that verse number that one Mataji was sharing about the Yudhishthir Maharaj's question to Bhishma Dev? I forgot the word.
Kodharma Sarvadharmanam, that one.
Ha.
Oh, that's Vishnu Sahasranamam. Okay, I can send you
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah, that's the prelude to Vishnu Sahasranamam. He asks these questions. He has 6 questions to Bhishma Dev. And then Bhishma, whom should I worship? Whose name should I chant? All that. Yeah, same thing. Kim japyate janma samsa. I don't get it on my name, on my
It's
tongue.
not in Bhagavatam, but it's in Vishnu Sahasranam.
Vishnu Sahasranamam, yeah.
Okay. I was also thinking, how come I missed that? Like,
Yes, Smarana Matrena Janma Samsara Bandhanat. Vimuchyate Namastasmai Vishnave Prabha Vishnave. Yeah.
in response to that, Bhishma Dev tells the Vishnu Sahasranam. Is that what, according to Vishnu Sahasranam, it is? Like
He
response
asks
to
6
that-
questions. Mataji, here Yudhishthir is asking 6 questions. Yudhishthir asks so many questions, not just the 6 questions.
Okay.
But one of the set of 6 questions that he asks for liberation, what is the ultimate path to liberation? Whose name should I chant? Whom I should worship? Whom I should do upasana to? That is when he says, he tells the Vishnu Sahasranama and he says, your cousin Krishna, who's standing next to you, he is the Supreme Lord, just worship him. He says that. Okay. So that is the context to Vishnu, but it happens at this time. Bhagavatam doesn't delve into Sahasranam, but it is all happening at this time. It's the same time.
day. Okay. Same day. Okay. When he. Thank you so much, Mataji.
So,
Can you
Mataji,
share in the WhatsApp group or something?
Yeah, I'll just put Vishnu Sahasranam and I'll Google it and I'll send it to you.
We just, if I Google like the questions before Vishnu Sahasranam.
The 6 questions asked by Yudhishthir. Yeah.
Okay.
To see Gopi Mataji, I shared with you on WhatsApp.
Thank you so
Kodharma
much.
Sarvadharmanam, that's how it begins.
Okay, thank you so
Kim
much.
japan muchyate jantur janma samsara bandhanat. Yeah.
Thank you, Rupa Mataji. Thank you, Vidyavilasini Mataji.
Krishna Mataji, sorry, last question I had. Though it is not there in Srimad Bhagavatam, but it is there in Mahabharata. Like that is
correct.
interesting. Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Mataji, he goes to, Bhishma Maharaj goes to Parthasadi Loka because it was his wish, or what is Mataji?
He was,
by
that was his worshipable Lord. No? His mind was
he
fixed on that.
he worshipped him as only Parthasarathi, so he was given that look. Okay.
Yes. He keeps asking this, let my mind be fixed on Vijaya Sarathi. Let my mind be fixed on Parthasarathi, Vijaya Sakha. He uses these words, remember?
He says, from the
Yes.
last minute where you are fixed, there only you reach.
And also he was seeing that form in front of his eyes at that time. Krishna as Parthasarathi. Yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
So Mataji, Sripad Radha Govind Swami says, how many days Bhisma Pita was on Pharaoh's bed? And he said 58 days.
Haribol!
That's what I heard in his lecture.
58. Good. Nice. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, we'll end here. See you in Canto 2. Hare Krishna.
And he did not eat the food and drink just like Parikshit Maharaj.
Yeah. Anyhow. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Tanvat pranam.